Hey guys! So for today's video, I'm going to show you my top 10 favorite books that I have read / that I own. And here they are. So, let's get into it. Okay. First one is this, The Best Christmas Pageant Ever by Barbara Robinson. And it is about the Herdmans, who are absolutely the worst kids in the history of the world. They lie, they steal, they smoke cigars, they talk dirty, and they cuss their teachers out, and they set fire to Fred Shoemaker's old broken down tool house. And basically, this is about the Herdmans, and they're asked to join the Christmas pageant at their school. I think it's at their school, if I'm not mistaken. And as usual, all hell breaks loose and chaos ensues, and they, it's a different take on like a classic Christmas like story, I feel like, and it's just really like interesting. And to be honest, it's like really short. It's like under 100 pages, this book, and I think I read it in like school or something, and it's just always been a go-to when I want something easy and kind of festive and fun to read. So I love this book. Next one is The Scribbler of Dreams. Well, not but Scribbler of Dreams by Mary E. Pearson. This is basically like a modern day Romeo and Juliet, which I'm a big fan of Romeo and Juliet, and I love Romeo and Juliet. I mean, who doesn't love Romeo and Juliet? I mean, come on. And there's actually a show coming out, I think this coming week, called Still Star-Crossed, about like the story after Romeo and Juliet died and stuff. Spoiler alert. Yeah, so this is really good if you're into like romantic, like teenage kind of books. I read this probably in high school, I think, and it's just always been something that I've really enjoyed. And yeah, it's really good. And if you like Romeo and Juliet, if you like romantic books, you'll definitely like this one. So check it out. The next one is a biography, Dominique Moceanu, who, I love this book mostly because when I was a kid, I was a gymnast for a couple years, and I always looked up to her as a gymnast. Basically, at 13, she burst into the spotlight by becoming the youngest U.S. national gymnastics champion ever. So, I mean, I really looked up to her in the 90s and stuff. She was like my idol when it came to gymnastics, and I just always love looking at this book because it has really nice pictures in it and stuff, and it's just very, like, really descriptive of her life and how she got to where she was, and it's just really great. So, if you are into gymnastics, definitely check it out. This one is a classic. The next one, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I love the original movie. The original movie is like my favorite movie of all time, basically. Every time I watch it, I have a big smile on my face, and it's amazing. And the book is just fantastic. I mean, it's just fantastic. I mean, it's just, it brings so much joy to my life, and I just love it. So check her out too. Next book is, it's not really like, it's a book, but it's what will happen in Harry Potter 7. I read this obviously before I read the final Harry Potter book, which I was like a teenager when I read it. And this just kind of is just like theories of like what will actually happen in the last Harry Potter book. So if you haven't read the last Harry Potter book and you like to kind of like, guess at what's going to happen before you read a book or watch a movie, I mean, I really love this book because it was really, really interesting, and it's just, it really, like, made me think about the story in a different way and the characters, and, like, it's interesting to hear other people's point of view, so it's really good. Next one is City of Bones, Mortal Instruments. I remember being in a bookstore. I think I got this, well, it says Borders, so yeah. I was in a Borders bookstore when I was probably like a teenager, I'm assuming. I was there with my Aunt Laura, and I remember picking this book up and immediately like being really drawn to it, and ever since I was in that bookstore and bought this book, I just love this book. It's so good. It's amazing. It's about this girl named Clary Frey, and she witnesses a murder, and Basically, she finds out that she's part of this whole other, like, world, and she's a shadow. She finds out she's a shadow hunter, and it's a lot. It's like a very, like, demonic, otherworldly fantasy kind of series. It's really, really good. There's a movie based on this. There's also a show on Freeform. If you guys haven't checked that out, do. I saw the book. I saw the movie. Wasn't a huge fan of it. But the show, what I've seen of the show, which I haven't seen a lot of the show, but I've seen tiny bits of it, I like what I see. So, but if you guys like fantasy, definitely check this one out. Okay, next one is one of my favorite TV shows of all time, The 100, which is on the CW currently. It's just ended its 4th season. The 100 is basically about 100 people. The story basically starts off with there was a nuclear apocalypse on Earth, and so all the inhabitants of Earth are in the Ark in space, and because the Ark is failing, they decide to send down 100 criminals from the Ark down to Earth to see if it's inhabitable. And basically the show is about what those 100 people have to do to survive on Earth, and what they deal with, and the obstacles they go through and everything. And it's an amazing story. It's so good. They're on this 4th season right now, and it's so good. I 100% ship Lark, and I really hope Bellamy and Clark end up together. I really want them to. Season 5, man. Season 5, they're gonna get together, man, I hope. So yeah, it's really good if you like apocalyptic stories, if you like survival stories, if you just love sci-fi in general. Most of the books in this top 10, I definitely have to say, are probably kind of sci-fi-ish. Most of the books I like aren't really, like, historical or, realistic or anything. But yeah, this book is awesome, and the story is awesome, the show is awesome. Go check it out if you haven't already. Next one is just, there's not really any words that need to be said about this because it's Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. I've been to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter 3 times. I own all the books. The second movie is actually my favorite movie of all of them. It's actually both me and my dad's favorite. But Harry Potter is just, it's amazing. It's amazing. J.K. Rowling just wrote an amazing story. Like, it's so encapsulating. It's so invigorating. It's such an amazing story. It's, he's brave, he's kind, he's noble, he does what he has to do in the face of danger, and he's awesome. I tend to say that I'm like Ron because I'm a loyal person, but I'm also a very kind-hearted, like, person, and I think, you guys might think I'm crazy, but Hermione's definitely the brains of the operation, Harry's the bravery and the courage, and I think I've always kind of thought that Ron is like the loyal-hearted, like, goofy, but very, like, caring part of the group. You guys might think I'm wrong about that, but that's how I feel. And I'm definitely a big-hearted person myself, and I'm very goofy and silly, and I love my friends and family, and so I think that's it. But yeah, so if you don't know what Harry Potter is about, then have you been living under a rock? But I will explain it. It's about a boy, an orphan. When Harry was 1 year old, he who must not be named murdered his parents, and he found out when he was 11 years old that he was a wizard, and he was sent to Hogwarts. And basically, it's just his journey through life and through learning how to be a wizard and meeting people and learning how to defeat he who must not be named and dealing with loss and love and friendship and bravery and honesty and learning about the whole world that he just got thrust into. So it's an amazing story. If you love witchcraft and fantasy, definitely check it out. The next two are basically kind of biographies, sort of. This one is Choosing Glee by Jenna Ushkowitz. I was obsessed with Glee for the better part of like my college years, basically. Like, I'm not even kidding around. Like, I was obsessed with it, and I still love Glee to this day. This book is basically just about how to be gleeful, how to be happy, how to embrace life and take it all in stride and just live the best life you possibly can, basically. It's amazing. She's amazing. She just, like it says on the cover, it says 10 rules to finding inspiration, happiness, and the real you. I mean, it's really, really colorful, and it's chock full of like all kinds of really great things that are very motivating and helpful, and it's just a beautiful book, and she did a really good job. So, love it. Love Glee. And last but certainly not least, Lea Michele, Brunette Ambition. This is actually one of my last picks when I was looking through my books, because I was going to include 2 books for the 100, but instead I just went with one, and I just picked this one up because I love Lea Michele. She's an inspiration to me because she's ambitious, she's hardworking, she knows who she is, and she just won't give up. And she's also very petite like me, and she's just amazing, and I love her so much, and she's like my idol. And I've even thought about getting a tattoo for Glee, like a gold star. So it's full of like stuff about, you know, life and making the most of life, and just her tips and tricks, and what she does to like live the most healthy, happy lifestyle she can. And it's awesome. It's a really good book. It's very good. So I hope you guys enjoyed all those books, and I hope these inspire you to read some during the summer. If you've been looking for maybe you've been looking for some books to read over the summer, if you're into sci-fi, if you're into romance, if you're into lifestyle, if you're into fantasy. I mean, I basically gave you a lot of different choices. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys!